Today, with the ringing of our peace bowl, we affirm our collective hope for peace in the world and at home. As we celebrate Earth Week, Jane Goodall reminds us that it is a vital reminder to move from awareness to action, protecting our planet for future generations by restoring ecosystems, combating climate change, and adopting sustainable habits. We love the beauty that surrounds us in Prescott and acknowledge that these lands that we love are the unceded, ancestral, and historic lands of the Yavapai people. Well, good morning on this beautiful spring day. I'm Leslie Grady, your worship associate. Reverend Michelle is out at the pulpit today for her regular Sunday off. Today's service will focus on the impact of these times on our environment, presented by a good friend of mine, Patrick Grady. I've known him since I'm 17. Patrick's professional background for over 30 years has been with various cities across the country, most recently as the Director of Economic and Downtown Development in Phoenix. Affordable housing has always been a main concern of his, and Patrick and I both started Habitat for Humanity in Columbus, Ohio in 1986. We always believed in putting our faith into action. He continues working on that issue now in his role as a Prescott City Councilman, along with other important issues. Patrick is a member of the Social Justice Council and is still active in a number of climate and environmental groups. He was recently selected by Prescott Living Magazine as a Man of Vision for 2026. I bet you didn't know that. And he will be featured in an upcoming issue along with others. He had a photo shoot and everything. Patrick finds peace, love, and affirmation in the beauty of our natural surroundings of lakes and mountains, in this beloved congregation and in family. So today, our gathering music is The Earth is Our Mother. It's on page 1073 in the Teal book. But before you rise in body or spirit, Jake and I would like to just point out, this is a great song, but the refrain is just, it's not tricky, but I just want to make sure you kind of get it. So it goes like this. It's hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Hey, younga, ho, younga, hey, young, young. Okay, so I think you'll really enjoy that. And I brought my drum from the Taos Pueblo, and Rick is going to play a little of the drum during the song. So let's all rise in body or spirit and sing The Earth is Our Mother. Young, Thank you. I really like that song. Good morning again. I'm Leslie Grady. If you're visiting with us for the first time today or are a regular visitor or member, I'd like to extend to you a very special and warm welcome. We are glad you're here. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, wherever you find yourself on your life's journey, whether you walked in or rolled in or zoomed in, whichever your pronouns, whomever you love, you are welcome here. You belong here. We begin our service in the Unitarian Universalist tradition of lighting a chalice. Our chalice lighter this morning is Peggy Beaupre. Today we light the chalice with these words. We light this chalice for the earth, our sustaining planet. We honor the soil that feeds us, the waters that quench us, and the air that gives us breath. As this flame burns, let it remind us that we are not masters of the earth, but a single strand in its intricate web. What we do to the web, we do to ourselves. In this hour, may we renew our vow to walk gently, to act justly, and to love the world back into balance. And now, some opening words from Patrick.
Thank you. Good morning and great to be with you. That was beautiful words of the chalice lighting. So once again, I am here during Earth Week. First, I want to personally thank you all for your continued affirmation as I embarked on my city council journey last May. I really do sincerely appreciate all the kind words that you have given to me, your concern about my well-being in these hectic times, and I also appreciate your feedback. So I look forward this morning to share some personal perspectives on the environment later in the service in my message. This congregation has a long history of care and concern for our common home, planet Earth. And remember, we were the only congregation in our region to declare a climate crisis, but just a few years ago. Today's message on the environment will remind us of the continued need for vigilant stewardship of the earth. There is no planet B.
Well, we're happy to welcome Rick Shore today to share his original music. Rick is a good friend, singer, songwriter, as well as a member of McDougal Street West. And so let's listen to Turn This World Around, written and sung by Rick.
Before I sing this song, I want to say a few words. Leslie asked me if I would be here today for Earth Day a number of months ago. And she had told me that Patrick was going to talk about the environment. And it turned out that a number of months before that, I had written a song about the environment, Turn This World Around. And I've been writing since like 87, but I've never written angry. You know, I've never written and being angry and then started writing a song. It just didn't work, except for this one. So, you know, it was killing me that what's going on now in our country is getting rid of so many protections, so many protections. The idea of having rivers clean, wouldn't that be amazing if we could put money into clean rivers, like 100 of them, and then when everybody saw that that would be beautiful, we would go to the next 100? And so I felt it was so strong that I wanted a subtitle on this song. So the subtitle is Continents in Danger. And I realized with this song, it's kind of like, do you remember a movie called All About Eve? Okay, with Betty Davis. And she walks up the stairway and she goes, buckle your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, thank you. Well, this is a bumpy ride. Turn this world around. Duck your head, stranger, come and sit by the fire. Towel for your hair, put your boots where they'll dry. For we all got a soaking on this trail that's so long. This shack is our godsend, we'll keep the fire strong. Can I get you hot tea? Sally shared with us all. Bill poured a stiff one, the fire, thanks to Paul. And Mary and Jen offered bread to us four. They're the last to arrive till you walk through our door. And I can tell you don't speak a word that I speak. Neither do my friends, must seem so oblique. I just gave them names that came from afar. I'm a stranger to this planet, as it seems we all are. Seems we all are. We're 7 round the fire in this shack that's so tight. Eyes crying guilty as we wait out the night. We're continents in danger, we all know who we are. We let our planet down, there's no more Earth star. No more Earth star. No more Earth star. Did we just lose a miracle? Through the ages we survived. We're 7 sisters born again when dust was left behind. Just dust was left behind. Now that blind, two-eyed bandit who blew up our planet, don't let him in, original sin. So huddled by the fire, nature is our guide. I wake in a sweat when I open my eyes. Well, a dream is a dream till one day it rings true. Wars kill the young that the old just outgrew, and rivers dry up, fires burn us down. My dream is no dream until we turn this world around. Turn this world around. I'm crying. Till we turn this world around. Turn this world around. Turn this world around. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. That's wonderful. Please join me in saying the words to our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation, the quest for truth its sacrament, and the service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge, freedom, to serve others in community, thus do we covenant together. As we prepare to receive the offering this morning, let us embrace the feeling of connection and community that we have when we gather here each week. Let us remember that this congregation and its programs are supported by your generosity. We also give back to the greater community through our Seeds of Support program. This month's recipient is Prescott Area Shelter Services. They provide safe shelter for women and children, along with transition services and employment readiness programs. In 2025, PASS served nearly 200 individuals through emergency shelter and transitional housing. Each Sunday, half of the plate offering as well as designated checks are given to a local organization helping others. If you'd like your entire check to go to Seeds of Support, be sure to say so on the memo line. If you'd like to contribute online, please visit our website at prescottuu.org. The ushers will now collect the offering, and Rick will sing "This Old World."
You hear that? When clouds start moving in, and the air starts cooling down, I pray for this old world. When clouds start moving in, when day becomes the night, the silver moon's a-glowing, I pray for this old world. When day becomes the night, we know children worldwide need someone who loves them. They need their clean air and their grass so serene. Shame on any man who feeds off the weak, grows rich from a war, never listens, just speaks. And his life starts slowing down, and friends have passed away. I pray for this old world as life starts slowing down. Help the children worldwide. They need someone who loves them. They need their clean air and their grass so serene. Shame on any man who feeds off the weak, grows rich from a war, never listens, just speaks. So let's all help find our way and not get led astray. Make this our safe old world. Let all children play. Make this our safe old world. Let all children play. When clouds start moving in.
Thanks, Rick. We acknowledge the generosity of spirit expressed through this offering. What is given in love is received in gratitude. Amen, and blessed be. For our joys and concerns today, we actually have a very special joy, and Mary Ann Clark would like to tell you a little bit about it.
So I'm here representing the Stewardship Committee. The board met this last week, and we have met our $289,488 goal for stewardship. Thanks to all of you and for the members of the board who put in the last little bit to put us over the top. So we did it. We didn't think we could.
Thanks, Mary Ann. That's wonderful, and thanks to all of you. Beloved community is in the heart of Granite Peak UU congregation. As we experience this time of meditation and music, we take a few minutes to silently acknowledge the joys and concerns on our hearts and minds. If there is an event that moves you to a joy or concern, hope or gratitude, grief or remembrance, you are invited to come forward and drop a pebble from this dish into our communal water as an affirmation of our connection to one another. Thank you. Jake, that actually is a song from, what is it, the Sedona Suites, and we have the CD, and when he was playing that this morning, I thought, oh, that's beautiful, it sounds familiar. May our joys and concerns surrounded by the healing communal water of our beloved community be acknowledged here today. So may it be. Please join me in singing Spirit of Life. Words are on the screen. And now Patrick will present a reading.
Our reading today comes from a book, Justice on Earth, written by two UU ministers. They write, "Our climate discourse has failed because we as a people have not understood the value of the environment. Our environment is not valuable because it has a financial equivalent. The earth is valuable because it is good and is a dynamic living ecosystem. If people, creatures of the earth, have worth and dignity, we must recognize that the earth itself has worth and dignity as well. If we as a nation, a people, or a species loved this planet as our universalist ancestors understood, we would have already made so many different choices about how we live on this earth and with each other. We would understand that if climate change makes inhabited spaces uninhabitable for humans, plants, and animals, then we should avoid it at all costs because it degrades what is good. We should see that environmental injustice exponentially increases the harm by allowing damage to those people and things we should be most concerned and careful to protect." So thank you again for having me here during Earth Week. The message this morning could have frankly gone in a number of different directions. As the title suggests, these indeed are turbulent times. I know you all feel that as well. I would say personally that my sanity is taxed daily, not counting, of course, my role in the city council. There's no controversy there. We could chat about the state of democracy, the energy crisis, the affordability crisis, or the wars. Oh, excuse me, I meant the excursions. But today, in honor of Earth Day and Earth Week, I'm choosing to lift up a focus on environmental impacts on planet Earth. When I arrived this morning and was talking with someone back in the coffee room, they said, "You're not going to talk a lot about the apocalypse upon us, are you?" And I said, well, I've got some threatening news and I've got some good news. So keep that in mind as I go through my talk. So as we talk about these impacts, we also need to keep in mind what's my response, what's our response to these threats that impact the health of our entire planet. So we're going to start with issues around climate change. And then we're going to move into some specific site situations that occur around our country in particular. So, have you heard of the 2009 greenhouse gas endangerment finding? Probably not. I won't ask for a show of hands, but it's so important. It's the legal foundation for regulating emissions under the Clean Air Act that Rick sang about just a few moments ago. Back in 2009, the EPA determined that greenhouse gases did indeed threaten the public health and welfare of our country and our environment. A huge decision. Well, long story short, in February of this year, the EPA rescinded this finding. That really is cataclysmic. For those of us who believe in climate change, including 97% of our scientific community, reversing this finding is projected to increase greenhouse gas emissions, leading to more frequent heat waves, wildfires, floods, intense storms. A lawsuit has been filed, so stay tuned. But candidly, what did we really expect from this administration? The president has often called climate change a hoax or a con job. He has pulled our country out of the Paris Climate Agreement twice. Do you know the other three countries, the only other three countries that are not a part of the Paris Climate Agreement itself? Yemen, Libya, Iran. That's the company that the president has put us in. The EPA administrator calls it climate alarmism, and that rescission a vindication of climate skeptics. The Treasury Secretary, speaking recently to a climate denial group, just within the last 2 weeks, I might add, yes, listen to this carefully, yes, the climate does change, and I believe it's very difficult to deconstruct the reasons around why anything changes. Wow, that's really some solid, insightful science. Again, surprisingly, or perhaps not surprisingly, Prescott City Council has been confronted by similar skeptics. That has resulted in yet another draft, still in process, of the 2025 General Plan that has, up to this point, deleted the words climate change from the climate and energy section of that document. Interesting times. Of course, not reported by climate skeptics, the World Meteorological Organization just came out with their State of the Global Climate, confirming that 2015 to 2025 were the worst 11 years of warming around the globe in all time. 11 hottest years on record. They go on to state that the Earth's climate is more out of balance any time in observed history as greenhouse gas concentrations continue to drive warming of the atmosphere, the ocean, and the melting of ice. So now let's move to some of those threats that are out in different parts of our country and even some adjacent countries. Looking first at the Gulf of Mexico and the Endangered Species Act. So listen to some of the dates as I go through some of these various examples because they're all within the last 6 months. On March 31st, the Endangered Species Committee, commonly known as the God Squad, voted to exempt oil and gas activities in the Gulf of America. Some of us still call it the Gulf of Mexico. From the endangered species protections that it offered. That committee hasn't even met since 1992, but somehow they felt compelled to do so. It was convened at the request of the Defense Secretary, who said it was critical to national security. We're hearing that a lot lately. And that fossil fuel extraction should be prioritized over any species at risk of extinction. I'm not sure those are our nation's values. All of this after 15 minutes of discussion. So the ES committee decided that all oil and gas companies in the Gulf no longer need to exert any caution to protect endangered whales, turtles, or other wildlife. As the War Secretary said, disruptions to Gulf oil production doesn't hurt us. It benefits our adversaries. We can't allow our own environmental rules to weaken our standing and strengthen those who wish to harm us. When development of the Gulf is chilled, we are prevented from producing the energy we need as a country. Didn't he just say it doesn't hurt us? So, yet another lawsuit has been filed. In Alaska, in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, the Bureau of Land Management recently announced, just 4 or 5 days ago, a sweeping sale of land or lease of land whereby oil companies can bid on 700,000 acres in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. This area is critical, obviously, for Arctic wildlife, as well as protecting traditional ways of life of indigenous communities. No commercial oil drilling has ever happened within the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. The last effort to lease land for extraction actually received no bids. Again, all together now, another lawsuit has been filed. On another environmental front, national parks, our national parks, are threatened in the 2026-27 budget. Earlier this month, the administration released that budget, which would continue to gut the National Park Service, threatening the protection and operation of over 430 national parks nationwide. A $736 million reduction, likely eliminating thousands more park staff on top of severe losses in last year's budget. It also slashes funding for cultural and historic resources. But it might surprise you to learn that it did include a $10 billion, yes, billion with a B, quote, presidential capital stewardship program within the Park Service to coordinate, plan, and execute targeted priority construction and beautification projects in and around Washington, D.C. That's all we need, more monuments to the ego. The Environmental Protection Agency, created back in the 70s by a Republican president, is also going to need to confront a 50% budget reduction or a loss of $4.6 billion. This, again, is the agency responsible for enforcing our vital laws like the Clean Air Act and the Clean Water Act. Slicing these programs will increase pollution, harm our air and water quality, endanger the health in our communities across the country. Chaco Canyon, a little nearer to us in New Mexico, the Bureau of Land Management, they're doing a lot, aren't they? In Alaska and New Mexico now, formally proposing revoking a mineral order that heretofore has protected 300,000 acres near Chaco Culture National Historic Park. The public received 7 days' notice to comment on this reversal. The BLM has already signaled it prefers full revocation and has committed to a decision within 90 days. Yet, 71% of New Mexico voters are opposed to allowing any new oil and gas drilling around this protected cultural site. More extraction, and again, at what cost to the environment? So, this is a small list of some of the threats. So while I take a drink of water, ponder a bit about some good news. Hearing some good news, I think, is important. Might lower my constant state of angst, perhaps yours as well. If you're concerned about open space in the environment, it was great for our community that the City Open Space Charter Amendment passed last summer. Prop 484 resulted in 2,700 acres of city-owned open space, including Watson Woods Riparian Preserve, enjoying significantly greater protection from sale or development in perpetuity. So 84% of our voters supported this measure. It was initiated by citizen engagement. It was passed by local citizenry. That's democracy at work. Perhaps like me, you're concerned about local utility rates and the APS recent decision to walk back their commitment to 100% clean energy by 2050. Well, here's some good news. It's not APS, but climate activists were actually successful this month in winning a majority on Arizona's other utility board, the Salt River Project. And some of you may know that the Salt River Project provides water from the Verde River to a lot of water users along the Verde River, as well as obviously down in the Phoenix metro area. This race pitted climate and clean energy activists against utilities' traditional leadership, supported by many in the Arizona business community and an organization called Turning Point. Will APS and their commission be next? Closer to home, we have a relatively new organization dedicated to wildlife corridors, the Central Arizona Wildlife Alliance. With their brand, Live Together with Wildlife. They highlight the need to get engaged with planners throughout the region, not just focusing on Prescott, but throughout our region, to preserve land for wildlife corridors before it's too late. So you can become a citizen scientist and track local pronghorn and just go to centralazwildlife.org. Willow Lake is yet another treasure for Prescott residents, have right in our own backyard, where one can find eagles and owls and hawks and turtles and frogs and cormorants. Leslie likes to see the cormorants on our walks. The Willow Lake Management Plan process, overseen right now by city staff and engaging citizens along the way, offers a wonderful opportunity to protect this unique wildlife habitat. Depending on your own perspective on this, and I realize there are valid points of view on both sides, but I think the Prescott City Council decision not to widen SR 89 can be viewed as a positive vote in protecting the natural beauty and environment of this scenic area going through the Granite Dells. I voted for that protection. And good news from northern Arizona. Again, it's interesting in preparation for my talk. All of these actions are so recent. On April 1st, just a couple of weeks ago, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld the creation of the ancestral footprint of the Grand Canyon National Monument, rejecting a lawsuit by Arizona Republicans to dismantle it. The court ruled that the plaintiffs, including state legislative leaders, lacked legal standing to challenge the 900,000-acre monument because their claims of economic harm were too speculative. So now, a brief look at some progress on the global environmental front. Solutions are ongoing, across the globe. So here's my list. Green corridors are lowering city temperatures in Medellin and Colombia. Marine sanctuaries are replenishing fisheries in Italy. Renewable electricity is powering all of Uruguay. Climate shelters are on every block in Barcelona. Fossil fuel divestment is occurring in 75% of the universities in the United Kingdom. China remains the world's largest growth market, having added more renewable energy generation than the rest of the world combined in 2025. The rest of the world combined. Ranked fourth globally, India has also increased significant capacity in solar and, don't tell the president, wind power as well. The European Union, for the first time in 2025, wind and solar generated more power in the EU than fossil fuels. 7 countries, Albania, Bhutan, Ethiopia, Iceland, Nepal, Paraguay, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, now generate over 99% of their electricity from renewable resources. So let that sink in, the positive steps that are occurring across the globe. So while the U.S. seems to be looking backwards to 1950, other countries are looking ahead to 2050 and future generations. So where do we go from here? What are you and I called to do? In our UU 2006 Statement of Conscience, it stated that the earth is our home. We, as Unitarian Universalists, are called to join with others to halt practices that fuel warming and climate change. As a people of faith, we commit to renewed reverence for life and respect the interdependent web of all existence. In these turbulent times, I encourage us all to look to community as that place of refuge, comfort, and inspiration. That can be your own personal circle, this UU community here this morning and on the internet, community-based organizations. We're needed everywhere, guided only by our individual passion to care and restore the earth. If we hope to heal the earth and protect the environment and the most vulnerable impacted by climate change, we can only achieve that through being in solidarity with one another. It's going to require us to go deeper through putting our spiritual practices into action. Leslie referenced Habitat for Humanity. Millard Fuller, the founder of Habitat, was often heard calling us to take the sermon out of the sanctuary, out of this sanctuary, into the street. There's an old axiom, think globally, act locally. There is so much to be done in our own community. Let me close this message by paraphrasing some portions of Amanda Gorman's Earthrise poem. We all care to protect this world, this riddled blue marble, this little true marvel, to preserve that one and only home. This is ours. There is no rehearsal. The time is now. Because the reversal of harm and protection of a future so universal should be anything but controversial. So earth, pale blue dot, we will fail you not, because an environmental movement of this size is simply another form of earthrise. What can we do? All of us bring light to exciting solutions never tried before, for it is our hope that implores us at our uncompromising core to keep rising up for an earth that's more than worth fighting for. Amen, and may it be so. And now, a closing hymn to one of my favorite songwriters, A World to Restore, written by and sung by Rick Shore.
Tired and confused, and I don't want to stare at the hurt in the news when there's so much despair. And I cry for sent out to sea when so few can swim. And that's why I'm forever grateful to feel in these darkest of days. There's a need to ignite, light one candle so bright that it blinds us with sight, to restore what we're all longing for. 'Cause I know life's not fair, yet we've hardly begun to open our hearts and realize we're one. So let's give what we can and keep just enough to feel truly blessed in this world that's so tough. And that's why I'm forever grateful to feel in these darkest of days. There's a need to ignite, light one candle so bright that it blinds us with sight, to restore what we're all longing for. 'Cause we're tired and confused, and we don't want to stare at the hurt in the news when there's so much despair. So it's time we unite, let's not fight anymore. Love needs to lead, it's a world to restore. Love needs to lead, it's a world to restore. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. That was a perfect song to go along with Pat's amazing message. Let us join together as Peggy extinguishes the chalice. Is it coming? Or is it just me? Here we go. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And I'd like to close, thanks Peggy, with this benediction from the Green Sabbath Project. May the songs of the winds and waters reach us in our quiet places. May we hear the voices of the trees and stones, and may our footsteps be light upon the land. Let us go forth as stewards of the wild and guardians of the future. Enjoy your day.